Hey! Hey, everybody.
Hey everyone, and thanks Bobby.
Thanks, Bobby. I just saw that. I'm like, oh, gotta switch on over to live. But yeah, so welcome, everybody. Hope everyone is nice and cozy today. A little bit chilly where I am. I have a nice sweatshirt on this time around.
So what constitutes a little bit chilly in Rhode Island?
Let's see. What is it right now? Well, inside of the apartment where I am sitting right now, it is about 63 degrees Fahrenheit. So putting that into C to F to C, you got to do that every single time. I will eventually figure it out. About 17 Celsius, where I'm sitting right now. It's a little chilly for me, just like in the apartment. So
Yeah, that's kind of low, I think, for an indoor temperature.
but yeah, what is it right now? I don't really go outside, so I don't know what the temperature is. It's about 40 degrees, so that's 6 degrees Celsius. So
Okay, probably the same here. Yeah, it's been
yeah,
between like 1 and 5 Celsius
yeah, it's
in the
been
London area.
yeah, it's definitely been in like negative Celsius pretty often the past few days. So a little chilly, just a little bit. But yeah, it's been really weird this last week and some other stuff. It's just been up and down a lot, so I don't know, unpredictable as of right now. Like tomorrow, it's supposed to go up to about 60 degrees, which is about 15 degrees C. But
Yeah, that's quite a swing. That's quite warm for this time of
yeah,
year.
but then like the next day, it's gonna be a max of like 4 degrees Celsius. So like, I'm like, I don't know what's happening here at this point.
Hmm.
But yeah, so been holed up, got the heated mattress pad, got all that good stuff. The heated blanket is actually has not made its way out of the closet yet, but
And you haven't been snowed in this year yet?
no, we've only gotten snow like once or twice, I think. I think twice. And only one of those days has it like actually like collected on the ground. So
Yeah, kind of behind the scenes thing. One of our rare opportunities for me and Andrew and the rest of the team to meet up in person was kind of scuppered due to snow on a previous occasion.
yeah, that was kind of a bummer. Yeah, we were gosh, what was that supposed to be in Atlanta or where
Yeah, I
was
think so.
that?
I think that was
Yeah.
DreamHack.
Yeah, I got snowed in and that was not ideal. Hey, Warwick, how's it going? Oh man. But yeah, so snow happens, definitely. Yeah, wait for a couple other people to trickle in, and then we'll go over these lovely patch notes that I have behind me. But yeah, so
Before then, how's your streaming been going, Andrew? Do you want to fill us in on your? Have you been climbing the ranks yet?
other than accidentally streaming to the Stray Basilisk Twitch page.
Unforgivable.
I was like, oh crap! Like I wonder, like, why don't I see anyone like popping in or chatting or anything? I'm like, I don't have any views. I'm like, normally I get at least some people. I'm like, I see nothing. I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. It'll be easier for me to concentrate on my speed running. Sure, like 0 viewers, great. That means I don't have to respond to anybody while I'm like crashing, essentially. And then I finish it. I was only on for like an hour and 15 or so. And I got like a relatively good run. For those just joining or not in the know, I have started to speedrun the Star Wars pod racing game, which I think is technically called like Star Wars Episode 1 Racer. Because apparently someone owned the copyright to any video game, the word pod in it. So, and there was like a video game that came out like a year or two before called Pod, which was also a sci-fi racing game. So like maybe they were just like, nah, we can't have something with pod in it, even though it would just be nice and easy to call this game Pod Racer. But whatever. But anyway, yeah, so I actually got like a relatively decent run, and I'm like, you know what, that's fine, I'm done, there's nobody watching, like whatever, I'll just like export the stream and I'll be good. And then I stopped and I'm like, oh man, I should look at the stream analytics for like to see if there's like, if I just didn't like, you know, see anybody pop in, but someone really did pop in. And then I looked and it's like, oh no, there's no stream analytics. Like, how long does it take for it to compile the analytics for the session? And I'm like, and then I start feeling like this like gut feeling, like this coldness. And I'm just like, oh no, I didn't change the stream code. So I popped on over, and sure enough, there was the VOD for on the actual Stray Basilisk channel. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. So
Did you manage to like download that and put that?
Yeah, I downloaded it. I don't need it for like, I like obviously to put it on my own thing. But I was able to download it. So technically if I wanted to, I could use that VOD as proof for my run, I believe. Which I think for my category, I would be in like 9th place if I did that.
Yeah.
Oh,
hey, Millie, by the way. Yeah, that's strike one against
Millie.
Andrew. We'll give him a couple more chances. But...
No.
So how did you do like leaderboard wise with that? What constitutes a good run for you? What's like a...
Okay, so let me bring some stuff up. We're gonna go on a little bit of a tangent here for the next couple of minutes.
Let's do it.
All right, so I'm actually gonna switch over to spectate mode and then change over my my thing. Actually, can I do it from here? I'm trying to figure out if I'm gonna do this correctly. Oop. Oh no, that's way off. Oh, that's what I get for not locking my stuff. Oh no. Well, I gotta drag that.
Strike two.
I gotta strike two. I don't know how this happens, but get those patch notes out of there. Get that GIF out of there. Okay. You're mostly seeing what I'm seeing right now. And for some reason, it's also not quite the right size, but whatever. We're doing it live. So I do this category, which is like the first 7 races of the game, pretty much, with no upgrades, because there's some like RNG with getting upgrades in that game. Because there's like a junkyard and you can get like parts on the cheap, but they're damaged, but they don't always have the same ones. So you gotta like go back and forth in and out of that screen in order to like reload the RNG. So I pretty much like stuff with really low RNG. So I would, if I were to submit my stuff. So we're not counting skips. Oops, my bad. That actually loaded something. We're not counting skips because there's like only one skip in this run. And like it was very recently found out, basically. Like this was 2 months ago that someone actually...
so someone's topped the charts with that new skip.
Yeah, pretty much. But like not by too much though. It's only like 30 seconds of in-game time, which is funny because Ace here, who is absolutely notorious, who pretty much has every single record in this game for individual levels, essentially, if not for like full like runs, but like for individual levels, this person is just absolutely insane. But anyway, so we're counting Ace as number 1, which is it's funny because it's the same kind of thing, because this other person, this Metallica person, also has a run here with no skips, so we're just counting this. So if we're doing this kind of thing, I am about here. I would be after Renegade Duck, but before Lasix Lindre here, however you pronounce that. Because
hang on. So you're in the top 10. Your goal for speedrunning was to eventually feel comfortable posting a run, and you're already on the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, but there's like, if you look at the times between this person's time and this person's time, there's like an entire minute here, and that's a huge difference. Like as soon as you hit this, it like the differences in times are a lot smaller. But like for some reason, like this person's run is like only like a second after this person's run, and then like after that, like literally this is like 100 milliseconds, and it's like relatively tight over here too. But for some reason, there is some huge gap that I just slot into right here. I don't know why. It's a whole minute. It's crazy. So like I feel like getting better than this time isn't that difficult to do, but like getting it down to here, which is almost a whole minute lower, is
Yeah.
actually really difficult.
Is that like spread over all the tracks, or do you know where
Yes.
that time is?
Yeah. So if you go into, let me see if I can find this. Some people list their splits here, but otherwise, you have to submit video, so you can technically see how fast people do their stuff. So here's like the IGTs, so they're in-game timers here, and this is like their actual times in the race. So that doesn't include loading, that doesn't include menuing, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My big issues are basically just like everyone else's. Is Vengeance. This is like a really difficult track. And then I'm like, if I can get a clean run on this, technically I've done a better clean run than this before, for Vengeance, but not by too much. I think I'm a few seconds off M100 here. There's just like a few seconds here and there that I'm like behind this person, but it's not like a huge difference. I think, let me double check here because I want to make sure. They're okay. No, they're about a whole minute of menuing too. So I don't know. Like, if I got a clean run, I would get relatively close to this person, but I wouldn't quite beat them. So I still have like some work to do in terms of like just getting better at the game, basically.
Okay, you kind of got to grind to get into that top 8.
Yeah, essentially. Like, if I get a clean run, I might just be done with this category and go on to the next one, go on to a different category, because I would be pretty happy about that. But because like getting like these three, Ace, Dom, and Metallica here, they're absolutely insane runners. And they're just like very, very good. Like watching their VODs are absolutely insane. But yeah, I'm sure there's lots of places that I can shave a bunch of time off, but you know.
So you say this is like a low RNG run. Is there still RNG within the tracks themselves?
There's no RNG in the tracks. Absolutely zero. The only time that there's RNG is for an actual skip that was found not too long ago that is super, super not run viable, I guess, which basically involves a track skip that involves using the AI to load pieces of the track. See, it's dependent on where the AI is on the track. Because if you crash on a section of a track while you're doing a skip, where no one else is there, it won't load you in because the section of the track isn't loaded. But if the AI is there in that section of the track, it'll load it in because it has to load it in for the AI. So, but that's like super not viable kind of stuff, like true insanity, not good. Not good for a run. Fine enough for like level to level leaderboard, but like doing it at an actual run, that's arguably a huge waste of time. So,
okay.
So yeah, it's just one of those things where, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I could technically submit my run and I would still be 9th place, but I want to like clean it up a little bit before I submit it. I mean, if I don't get a cleaner run by the end of the year, I'll just submit it and be like, this is what I got. And like, unfortunately, I didn't mute my mic on that one, so it's just like me mumbling to myself on occasion, being like, "Well, I guess we're not running it clean today," and just like. But it's a run, so whatever. It'll forever be up here too, because you get to listen to my mumbling voice, unless they let me put. Some people like have music on top of their stuff as well, so like to drown out some other things. So I might just like slap some music on it, so it's just not me mumbling to myself the whole time. So
that's part of the history of the run, though. I mean,
I guess so. It's just like me being down on myself for screwing stuff up. So it's whatever. But anyway, yeah. So it's going well. I don't have as many chances to like just sit down and grind this out. But you know, I've only sat down to actually grind this out like twice. I think like I've had 4 good sessions of playing the game, in only like 2 sessions of actually grinding something out to try to improve it. So like seriously, this is not a like hard game to like get into. Like I think it's pretty easy to get into. I mean, I've also played for hundreds and thousands, probably thousands of hours as a child playing this game.
Mm.
So like I've memorized most of the courses, so it's more like taking what I know and then applying different like basic principles to it of like how to play good. But yeah, it's definitely something. But yeah, no, it's fun. I like it.
Awesome.
But anyway, yeah, so it's going well. I've already kind of gotten my mini goal, but my other goal is to get a clean run so I can feel happy about it. But I've almost succeeded in getting a friend to get in on it as well. I walked them through all the paces, to all the stuff that you have to install to get the game running stably.
Yeah.
Which is quite a lot actually. So yeah, because the game, it's not, even though it did get re-released not too long ago, it's really not made for like Windows 10 machines. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do to make it a lot more stable and stuff like that, like capping the frame rate and running it in a wrapper that forces it into windowed mode and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things in there. So
Hang on, breaking news. I just got an email that Paul released an album.
what did you say?
Paul, plug your album.
Oh, Paul, where's the album? Breaking news. If Paul's in the chat.
Yeah, I just got a Bandcamp notification.
Oh, there you go.
I think he posted the other day that
Did I get one? I don't know.
he was working on something. Seems like it's out.
I got one too. Oh yeah. Get it. Check it out right here. Maybe we'll play some after the after a couple of matches. That cross promotion right there. Awesome. Okay, cool. So Steamhounds. So here's our patch here today. We've got Solstice 416. So a couple of things that we did here. We have a nice, beautiful, snowy battlefield. It's very pretty. So we got some snowflake particle effects in there. Jason, what did you do with the layers there in the back to get that like white sheen on them?
Yeah, so there are a few layers. There's maybe 8 or 10 different background parallax layers in this level. So I started off just manually drawing snow on top.
Fair enough, yeah.
And then I thought, hang on, I'm a programmer. I can automate this. So I ended up writing some code which would kind of look for transitions in the images and would kind of place these white pixels. And then I just did some kind of manual cleanup. So it's actually kind of like an automated thing for placing that snow, and then a bit of manual tweaking, playing around with like the color grading and stuff like that. And then we have the oh sorry, Nightbot.
Oh, Nightbot, you're a little too aggressive. Oh no, I blame that on Jason. Jason set up Nightbot. Very aggressive.
Yeah, and then we've got the main thing is this kind of particle layer of all the snowflakes. You probably can't see it in this GIF, but that like varies over time. The wind changes and the direction and speed of all the snowflakes sort of drifts around over time. So yeah, I think it's kind of a pretty nice effect all in all. And just a little fun thing to celebrate the cold holiday season.
Yeah, definitely. So we're definitely going to be seeing that in action today. So happy about that. Other thing here is also mostly a Jason topic here, which is we did some stuff on the back end
I'm not trying
for
to figure
terrain
out
object stacking. So Jason, do you want to talk a little bit about what that means for our players?
Yeah, it's basically there are various situations where the game has to figure out if you're allowed to do something like, can you place a trap on this tile? Can you move into this tile? Can you pull somebody or push somebody into this tile? Or even sometimes in an automated way, like when the debris falls, it has to pick a new tile to kind of spawn to.
Yep.
So some of those decisions now factor in a slightly more detailed way the different types of objects. So we had an issue in the previous stream where somebody wanted to place a trap on top of a speed boost,
Yeah.
and it didn't let them. It just didn't let those stack. So we basically went through every object and decided, can this object stack with all of these other objects, to try and be a bit more intuitive and a bit more permissive in terms of letting cool combinations happen. Because it's fun, right? It's a fun thing to place a trap on like a bonus tile, and that's some interesting strategy, I think. So we want to allow more of that stuff to happen.
Yeah, so definitely something to experiment with today if you wanna get some traps down and see what you can put on there as well.
Yeah. For the most part, it should like make sense visually. Like if like the speed up is kind of like painted onto the floor and then the trap like sits on top of that. So it's kind of okay, but trying to put a trap on top of a totem doesn't work because they would like
Yep.
visually overlap and clash with each other. So more or less it corresponds to how stuff looks. So hopefully it's intuitive.
Yeah, definitely. Well, we'll see how people experiment with that today, especially
Yeah,
with like terrain objects.
absolutely. Millie has a good point about giving reasons to use the trap if you're not able to do like a combo with the engineer
Yeah.
to hook people onto it, or the warrior maybe to shove people, just locking people out. Now we've got passive bonus tiles, being able to lock people out of those, or punish them at least with a trap. Yeah, it would be a shame if we didn't allow that kind of play. So I think it's great we have that option now.
Yep, definitely. All right. Well, I think that's mostly what we've got for the patch today. So what else we've got coming up, Jason? We have some other stuff coming up for patches. I'm not sure what else we're gonna be doing in the near future. It's kind of a crazy month for most of us, so it'll probably be a little bit light in the coming weeks, I'm assuming.
Yep. There's some more fun stuff. There may be some more holiday themed stuff coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what our stream schedule would be. I mean, our Christmas Day is on the 25th, and that would normally be a coding stream, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'm also assuming the 26th is not going to happen either.
Yeah.
I will not be around. So
yeah. So we'll basically have that week's going to be disrupted.
Yep.
I mean, Friday's New Year's Eve, but it's not like New Year's Eve parties are happening this year, so maybe I'll still stream, but it's gonna be kind of casual, whatever we do.
Yeah. Is next Wednesday also the game night? Are people still down for that?
I mean, I'm down for that. That's just a fun few hours for me. So
yeah. We'll battle Jason's internet for a couple of hours and
yeah,
hopefully come out victorious. I know Paul wants to play more Terraria, so
yeah, my internet's causing me so much headaches. I just had to kind of reset stuff.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Now, yeah, so my bad. I really should fix that.
It's a complex issue. It's also not fun to sit on hold for a long time and then go up the chain of command in terms of the decision trees for fixing your problem and stuff like that. So it's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a big thing. So.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing that gets put off, but honestly, it is disrupting my attempts to stream. So I'll try and get that sorted out.
All good. It's all good. How I was not able to catch it. How was the stream yesterday?
Yeah, it went pretty well. I mean, my internet held up. We finished off our little isometric puzzle game.
Yep.
So that's now very minimal, but it's kind of playable. The idea of the game is that you get a map with some pre-placed buildings and a couple of like fragments of road, and then you get like a pool of tiles, like road tiles, and you're supposed to connect all the buildings up with like a legal road network. The stream ended with me like making a level and then failing to solve it myself. So
was it solvable? Was it technically solvable?
Okay. So the way I made the levels was I just drew like a map with a road network and then just like deleted a load of tiles and put them back in the player's like pool. So it's definitely solvable. But then when I went to recreate it, I kind of couldn't quite figure it out. So puzzle game succeeded in being puzzling. Maybe
Yeah, there you
slightly
go.
too much.
Yeah, it shouldn't be like immediately obvious, so that's a good thing. Where'd you get the assets from for that? Was
So
that
the
is that a
assets,
Kenny thing?
yeah, it's Kenny's asset packs. If you're not familiar, Kenny does these like vectory asset packs. There's loads of them, like in pretty much any genre. They all have the same kind of cute
Yeah, no, they're
aesthetic.
very good at what they do. Like Kenny's got so many assets out there, and they're very cheap, if not free.
Mhm.
So it's if anybody is interested in messing around with, video game development or anything like that, that's a super nice way to get some nice looking assets. So the stuff that you make doesn't immediately look like garbage. Like you can't blame it on the assets anymore. You can,
Yeah, let me
but
drop
it's
the link
nice.
here, actually. There's loads
Yeah,
of stuff.
sure, definitely. Yeah, Kenny stuff is real good. But yeah,
Cool.
so awesome. All right, what do you think is gonna be the next thing since you finished that? What's up on what's next on the table up for
Um,
voting?
yeah, I guess it will probably be the last one next week before we have a week off. So,
Yeah,
uh, I have a big list of stuff. I mean, and I'm very much open to suggestions as well. If anyone has anything they want to see.
is Lemmings on that list?
Oh, it is now. Okay.
That seems like a fun one to make because it's also like
Oh, it really is. Yeah. So
it's
I did
really
that.
like simple pathing, and then you've got like the destructive terrain kind of thing. So
Like I did the like falling sand simulation, if you
yeah,
remember that one.
exactly.
So it's
Yeah,
kind of along the same lines as that. Yeah, that's going in my little list.
yeah. I watch a YouTuber called LGR, and he goes over like most of it's a lot of like kind of like retro tech, um, and like just old video games and stuff like that. But he does like a Christmas one basically every year, and this one was like a ripoff of Christmas Lemmings because there was like a Christmas version of it called like Ducks Xmas Ducks 2000 or
Mm,
something like that. And it was basically Lemmings but like slightly different, where you don't manually control the lemmings, you like manipulate the environment around them basically, and they're ducks.
mm.
But that just reminded me of that. I'm like, oh, that would be a cool like thing that's possibly able to be programmed in a couple of sessions probably. I mean, if you limit the number of like tools, because lemmings had like I don't know how many tools you had or like how many things you could assign people to do, um but yeah.
Yeah. A base platformer. What do you mean, Malik? What do you mean by base?
Like a basic
Oh,
platformer.
oh, like a basic platformer. Okay. I was thought, is that a subgenre I'm not familiar with?
That would be interesting. The only thing I could think of is like for a base platformer would be like Killer Queen, which is a really cool game. I don't know if you're familiar with Killer Queen.
Oh, I think you've talked about
Killer
this
Queen's
before.
like it's like God, I think it's 4v4 or 6v6. And it's got like it's an arcade game basically with like a single screen, and yeah, they released it on Switch, I believe. Um and it's got like 3 different ways to win the match basically.
Mm,
Like one's combat, one's like collecting these balls basically and like getting them all on one side, and another one is like ride this ridiculously slow snail all the way to one side of the thing. But like yeah, so like it's interesting, like you have to put yourself like in danger in order to like it's playing the objective, unless unless one team wins by like deathmatch. So it's interesting. I like those kind of games where you can like win in multiple ways.
oh yeah, that's
And it's
interesting.
very chaotic because you have to like balance what you think your opponent is focusing on and like take advantage of that. So
Oh, a challenge to make some of the things I've already done.
what? So we've got, what we've got so far. So we've got Plants vs Zombies. We've
Mhm.
got The Falling Sand. We've
Yep.
got.
I did like a one finger death punch. If you remember that
Oh,
game.
you did do that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I was gonna say I'm not sure the fractal burning ship is gonna help in this one, but
Unless that's like the level that you play lemmings on. I don't
Oh
know.
my gosh. Like a fractal generated map. Like
Mm.
that would be very interesting. You just gotta do oh man, I just think of like terrible projects. Just like a more complex version of the game of life. Like I don't know. I don't know how you like objectivize that game, but be
I guess you
interesting.
could do that. You could give them constraints about where they're allowed to place stuff, and they have to activate
Like a
some particular
puzzle
tiles.
based game of life kind of, because there's like crazy things you can actually do with that. You can make like I don't know. You can make projectiles
Mm.
in the game of life technically. You can like
Oh, like
yeah.
yeah, like a rogue game, like a roguelike game. I love roguelikes.
Yeah,
I would love to do that.
yep, I've got plenty of terrible ideas for roguelike games. So, oh man. All right, it is 2:06. It is time to actually get into some battles now. Definitely. So, leaving works. Do y'all want to get some stuff going on this lovely snowy battlefield?